that how many years have you said? 27 years.
27.
And you don't have safety.
We have been training these people.
But you don't have safety regulations in 27 years.
We did not. That's so
what are you people doing?
I can sit here and lie, but there's no point
for
that.
I'm happy, but isn't that indictment on you? That
it's not any indictment. We have.
Chai, Nollywood, unashamed, they shame me, honestly. My people, this is very, very shameful and unbelievable that in 27 years, Nollywood does not have any law on ground, no safety regulations, no life insurance for the actors and actresses. Chai, Nollywood, na so on a be. Like Junior Pope's death is really exposing Nollywood, honestly. So my people, according to the AGN president, they say they want to sue Adamma, the producer of the movie that claimed the life of Junior Pope and other 4 people. Hey, my people, make una come out here. Let me just allow you guys to watch this particular video. The interview the AGN president and the President Association of Movie Producers had on Arise News concerning this incident, this terrible incident that claimed the life of Junior Pope and the other 4 people. My people, let me allow you guys to just watch this interview. Like, this one really shocked me.
In a tragic incident on the Adamma River in Asaba, Nollywood actor Junior Pope and 3 crew members lost their lives in a boat accident. While Junior Pope and 1 crew member were retrieved, 3 others are still unaccounted for. Recovery efforts involving fellow actors and sympathizers are underway to locate the missing bodies. Amidst mourning, there's criticism towards the producers for alleged negligence leading to the accident. So far, 2 bodies have been recovered, but 1 remains to be found.
We know the 5 of them because they are in the same production. We have Friday, which we have recovered the body. We have Junior Pope. Then we have Precious. We have Abigail. And then we have the other person too. They are well known in their various guilds as well. So that's why we are here. As you can see all the Nollywood members in Asaba here, turning up around the river, waiting.
It's been a sad movement for us since yesterday. We've been in a sober mood. You can see everybody, all the actors and actresses are here. Everybody that is working in Asaba right now have been here since yesterday. Some of us went home to refresh and then we came back this morning and we've been here. It's been a very, very, very tragic moment for us.
We are crossing the River Niger for the production, without life jacket, and something happened. And here we are, losing 5 people. Junior Pope, who is a Nollywood star that is known, and some other crew. 1 was brought out with Junior Pope yesterday, and today we are still looking for 3. 1 makeup artist and 2 sound guys. We've not seen them.
Joining us now as we discuss the unfortunate incident of Nollywood boat tragedy and what must be done to avert a reoccurrence in the Nigerian movie industry moving forward are Emeka Rolas Ejezie, President, Actors Guild of Nigeria, and Queen Blessing Ibigieson, President, Association of Movie Producers. They will be speaking to us on the topic around safety and avoiding a reoccurrence of what happened. First of all, our condolences and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Is Emeka Rolas also with us?
Thank you.
Good morning, Emeka Rolas, President, Actors Guild of Nigeria. Well, first, just one question for both of you. You may just address it. Which is that, is there any insurance scheme for actors provided by the Guild or by the Movie Producers Association when you have this kind of a situation, or when accidents happen on set or in the course of production, the people are just left to their own devices or the goodwill of people? And specifically for you, Emeka Rolas Ejezie, I recall that the Actors Guild of Nigeria said that, further filming will be suspended, and that also the producer, had been suspended. Now, there were stories showing that, in fact, despite that directive, nobody listened to the Actors Guild of Nigeria. And then the producer, Adamma, Adamma Luke has since come forward to say, well, safety jackets were provided. It's just that the persons involved in the accident chose not to use, those safety jackets. What's the latest on all of that? Would the people that went on to film after the accident, would they be sanctioned? Is there an opportunity for appeal by the movie producer? But let's start with you, Queen Blessing, who is with us here in the studio.
I'm actually feeling very sick because since this incident happened, because the producer in question is my member from the Delta State chapter of the association, it's been one interview or the other, lots of phone calls, and the fact that all the blame have been put on the producer. Yes, it's understandable when you bring the table and you invite everybody to dine on the table, you must make sure that that table is safe enough. But again, you can't be everywhere. You know, people on that table should also try as much as they can to help you look after them. Having said that, you asked about insurance. We have insurance, but it's life insurance, HMO, and all of that. It's not production insurance. And again, even if we had a production insurance, with the incident that happened, no insurance would have paid a dime. Because when things like this happen, insurance will go there, find out, do their investigation, and if they find out that you were not wearing life jacket and that is why you died, then they won't pay anything. So what we want to do, or what we're trying to do in the Association of Movie Producers, is to make sure that we put measures in place where anytime things like this happen, we would not support that producer, because we would have been able to tell them this is what to do and this is what not to do. And in the Association of Movie Producers, in the last 27 years since inception, we've been doing trainings year in, year out. In fact, we just finished one with our Brazilian counterparts. We collaborated with them. It's called the Audiovisual Center in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It was a training on so many things. You know, they were able to teach us how to manage, crew members on sets, how to make sure that there are safety measures in place, and so many things. A lot of people didn't even key in. So most of the times we bring programs and members are not even willing to, take care of it. I think in Nigeria, we play too much. A lot of us don't believe that we need to protect our lives. Even when you look at seat belt, we have to be forced to use seat belt. There must be a sanction before you use seat belt, all those kinds of things. But since that is the language that we understand, the association have now decided we have to put safety measures and we have to be strict. If you don't adhere to those safety measures, we suspend you or ban you from the association completely. And talking about the suspension of the producer by the AGN president, for starters, the AGN president does not have the powers to suspend my producer. His powers starts and end in AGN. My powers starts and end in AMP. And when it comes to suspending production, he also do not have that power. He is not the president of Nollywood. The Federation of Guilds, where we all belong to, are the only ones who can bring out such a directive, and it will be taken seriously because everybody is in the Federation, not a one man standing in one place and just writing letters and just pushing them out there.
Okay, Emeka Rolas ages here. I see an existing conflict here. Here is Queen Blessing the Biggest saying that, look, the Actors Guild of Nigeria has no powers to say, don't, stop shooting films for now, or that a member of the Movies Producers Association of Movie Producers has been suspended. Well, in addition to the other issues surrounding this matter, can you address that? She's just saying that you were acting ultra vires to have even said nobody should shoot films for a while.
Well, probably, I don't think there's any conflict in there except by way of understanding. As the president of my union, the Actors Guild of Nigeria, I have the right to tell my members not to shoot in any riverine area for the meantime. And at the same time, I have the right to tell my members, do not act with this producer whose set our member died until further notice. And we have gone ahead to set up a committee to look through what happened to our members. The concern of members of the Actors Guild is very important to us. It's not about federation. The federation that the president of AMP spoke about, Actors Guild of Nigeria, is not a member of it because we are employees and we do not belong to a federation that brings employers and employees together to begin to talk about welfare. Employees are labor unions. We talk about our problems as it relates where we are going. If we belong to a federation, then it means that an actor will not rise above what he should rise because there is a factor, somebody who says, because we belong to this federation, before you talk to us or before you tell us what you earn, we must agree to it. And then coming to the issue that happened that we lost our members, I was on ground in Asaba and I took only proactive steps as somebody who was on ground. The federation was not on ground. If the federation was on ground, they would have done something. Everything I did was to forestall further damages. Because if an aeroplane crashes right now, the first thing the minister will do is to ground that airline. And it was proper and important for me immediately while I was on ground to say, look, actors do not go on any set that is to be done at the Riverine area for now, and then do not act with this particular producer. I didn't ban the producer from making film in Nollywood. I only banned my members from working with her for the meantime. The same thing as working in any Riverine project. So I don't think there's any conflict except how anybody may misinterpret what the actor is saying at the moment.
All right. Well, Queen Blessing, let me come to you now, because you said a few things, and you almost sound as if you're absolving the producer of responsibility because it was the actor who chose not to wear a life jacket. However, there's some, when you talk about processes, there should be very strict measures in terms of you will not move if people don't wear. Yeah. Because ultimately, the responsibility lies with the producer because that's the owner of the project. Of course. What I would ask then is that why wasn't this insisted on? Is there a standard procedure for when movies are being done, for instance, in the Riverine area? Because you cannot absolve responsibility. I just want to, because at the end of the day, someone can choose not to. The plane will not move if a passenger refuses to wear their seatbelt. At that point, it's no longer your right because you're not just endangering your life, you're endangering
other people around you.
Endangering other people and also endangering the flight, the aeroplane as well, or the company as well. So is there any standard procedure put in place to ensure that, yes, whilst people have free will, we don't have this kind of situation again? You talk about sanctions, safety measures. Can you elaborate on that? Because
we're just going to start putting those.
Just 1 second. This is a short time for that. I'll let you answer because I'd like Mr. Rolas as well, JZA, to come in as well, because he's also talking about telling people not to act and so on. But to what extent? It seems as if the AGN as an umbrella body might not have that much influence on its members. To what extent do you have influence on your members to respond or respect your measures? First of all, for Queen Blessing.
For instance, if we put out anything to the Association of Movie Producers members, they would definitely comply because before I put out anything, I give it a thought. When we gave a press release about what has happened, I never said anything until I heard from the producer. And I wasn't on ground. The very first person I called when it happened was the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria. And he told me exactly what was going on there. And the thing I asked him was, this producer, what's the person's name? I need to even know if he's my member. And he told me the name. I found out who the person was. I spoke to her and she explained everything that happened. She wasn't there when it happened. She said she was supposed to be there. She wasn't. She was going to pick a hard drive. And by the time she got there, the incident had happened. And when she left, there was somebody in charge of the production. It was the production manager. But we all know that sometimes these crew members are always afraid of these big celebrities, because the production manager told her that they gave Junior Pope a life jacket. But some people were wearing life jackets on that boat. There were 12 of them. When the boat capsized, 7 of them survived. Now, he said they gave him a life jacket. He said it was dirty. Now, my thought was, if it was dirty, as a big celebrity like you, what you're supposed to do is to say, go and wash it or get me a new one or I'm not going to move. You can walk out of that set, write a petition against that producer, and we will take it up, or even get a police to arrest that producer because the producer is sending you on a suicide mission. I, for one, am terrified of water. Even if you give me 100 life jackets, I won't go on that river, Niger, for anything, no matter what. And also, we need to also remember, while the producer was not there, there was somebody riding that boat. The boat rider would have insisted on everybody using a life jacket before they get on that boat, or else he will not move. But like I said, it's the way we behave, most Nigerians. It's like we have 10 lives somewhere that when one switches off, we just go and get another one and put in there. Yes, everybody's blaming the producer, and I'm not taking that away, because it's your production. You need to be on top of things. If you know you're not going to be there at every time, which is not possible, get competent people who the actors can listen to. That is what we're saying. But it has happened, and it has happened. So we're moving forward, and we're trying to make sure that we now put all these safety measures in writing, so that if it happens again, the association will just remove themselves from it.
All right. Okay, well, Mr. Emeka Arolas, your thoughts on this, especially with regards to the influence you have when directives are given by your guild, and to what extent is compliance?
Of course, once there's a directive on actors not to partake in any production, the actors usually comply to at least to 90%, except those who are filming in areas where the national or state task force cannot get to them. The Actors Guild of Nigeria, we have a very strong task force, and they are all in all the states where the Actors Guild is. So we have a strong task force to make sure that they make them implement these things.
All right, so I'll come to you, Mr. Emeka Arolas. Sorry about your loss. When would you be suing this producer? When would you be going to court? Because there are a lot of infractions, very litigable infractions here, and a life has been lost. So when would your association be suing, and probably be suing, you know, the Producers Association too, you know, for not reining in their producer in this case? Because I hear a lot of talk, and I'm taking at sea as regards the level of negligence that goes on in this country. So we are now saying as an afterthought that hang on a minute, we're saying as an afterthought that, oh, if they provided a dirty jacket or stuff, the producer will, the actor will have declined and all of that. Whose responsibility was there to ensure that if every security or safety measure was not put in place, the boat doesn't move in the first place? Doesn't that fall on the producer? And that's what I'm saying, where are the litigations going to go? Because I don't think if you guys don't sue each other, this will happen again. If there are no damages paid and people go to jail over this matter, this will happen again. So when are you guys suing? At least if we're able to get to the end of this.
I want to immediately let you know, like Queen, the president of AMP, was just speaking. Our lawyers are already preparing documents because this matter is actionable.
Very good.
I'm only waiting for the small committee we have set up to give me the report on all the things that happened. I also learned that not only the day that Junior Pope died, previous day, they still went on the waters without life jackets. At least the video that Junior Pope showed everybody on Instagram the previous day, people on that boat wearing life jackets. So I'm waiting for this report, and as soon as I get a report now, our lawyers, the Association of Movie Producers will hear from our lawyers. The Adamma production will also hear from our lawyers. The other day we had an actor who almost died on set because the producer hired a driver who doesn't have driver's license, who doesn't know how to drive. And while he was reversing, he hit the actor, Emmanuel Ayalogu. It was the guild that took him for treatment, hospital and everything. We spent millions of naira to get him back on track. And the producer was still saying the same thing, that please, this is not a profession for brothers or sisters. It's a business profession. If you're a producer, be a producer, put money down, make your film. If you hire an actor, pay him and he will act. It's not, I beg, do this for me, there's no money. So don't worry about that. We are on top of that.
Okay, and coming to you, I heard a lot of things you say, and I'm taken aback. So is it that you guys don't have production insurance? Is it that you guys don't have production safety protocols in your industry? Because you're just talking about the fact that you just want to codify it, and that's even shocking for me.
First of all,
so as far as I'm concerned, there's no industry
here. Let me clear it.
Yes,
there is
please.
no way the association will ensure anybody's production. It's not possible.
No. Did
what
you
we
make,
can,
hang on a minute, did you make it mandatory
land.
for the producers themselves to ensure all their productions?
That is what I just said here. That because of what has happened,
now.
we are going, because we never knew that things like this were going on in Asaba.
Really?
Yes, we never knew. Nobody complains.
So you don't have a task force that checks what your producers are doing?
If the task force does not bring complaint, how would you know?
So your task force is not effective?
I'm not saying that. I'm only saying if something does not happen and nobody reports a case, how will you know? It is until people report, and that is why we set up a 9-man committee to look into what has happened with Adamma Look, so we can know measures to take against her, or maybe just say, okay, it's not her fault, like she explained, because she has been saying she was not on ground, and there was a production manager on ground who was in charge as at that time. So the production manager too has a question to answer.
Have you asked the production manager those questions?
He's still saying the same thing. I
gave him life jacket.
Yes, and he didn't use. So until this 9-man committee comes to us to say, this is what we have found out, this is our investigation, this is what we are presenting, then we'll look at every possibilities, and then, like the president of AGN said, we're going to court. If he wants to go to court, why not? We can go to court. At the end of the day, that is where you find solutions.
Yeah, because people need to go to court.
Yeah.
Because if there are no sympathizers, this will happen again.
Because at the end of the day, people are saying that, oh, we brought out a press conference release, and we said Adamma Look is advised to suspend all production pending on when the 9-man committee we set up tells us exactly what happened. And they are saying, no, you should have just said suspend. Why will I suspend? It means the association wants to take an easy way out. If we suspend her, it means we're pulling out. We're not pulling out. We're standing with her. She's our member.
Okay.
Whatever happens.
I've had you. Look, I'm in this field too. I used to teach this subject. I used to act too. But let me ask you, all these associations, AMP, Actors Guild, do you have register of members?
Of course.
No. Hold on, a comprehensive register.
We do.
Because we see all kinds of people just going to shoot films, right? And that question goes to both of you. Elsewhere, if you say you have a guild or you have an association, there will be a proper register that monitors those who are professional and the quacks, because there's also quackery in every profession. That's number one. 2, is there a meeting platform for all these groups?
Of course.
The AMP, the Actors Guild, and okay, if you say there is a platform, is there an agreement in terms of protocols? For example, in this accident that occurred on the Adamma River, they were coming back, people were taking films and all that, taking video shots with their phones. Then the driver also joined. He stopped paying attention to the movement of the boat. And in one report, we were told that was what led to the accident. So if you are going to sue, the people you sue will be the service providers, I guess, who were negligent, who provided a driver that took his eyes off the service. So that's why I'm asking whether there is a meeting point, because the two of you, you seem to be defensive.
No, well, for me,
in terms of
sir,
the interest of your people.
For me,
let me start with you, and then we'll listen to it.
For me, we have a platform where all of us meet and talk about issues. And like I said, we do trainings
Which
from time
platform
to
is that?
We have a WhatsApp platform.
No, it's not, I'm not talking about a WhatsApp platform. I'm saying an umbrella body, because I know many of these platforms.
That carries everybody. That's the federation.
Even when they have a meeting, they are perpetually quarreling. Just as we have seen here.
We have the federation, like I said before. AGN is no longer a member of that federation. We've been telling them to come back. We've been telling them to come back. They have refused to come back. But again, every association in Nollywood belongs to that federation. And the reason why we set up that federation was to make sure we clean up the mess in the industry. Because there are lots of things happening in the industry. And again, all the producers making film in Nigeria, yes, 85% are my members. There are some small producers association too that are there. You might just check that the incident he was talking about with Imayologu, the person might not even be my member. Because when that thing happened, I saw the video, I tried to find out who the producer was. He's not my member. So he must be a member. So if he's suing, he's going to sue another producers association. We are not the only ones. But we're making sure
there are many producers associations.
There are some small ones that, people just, because our own association, before you join, first of all, you must have a production company that is registered with CAC. so that if anything happens, there's an address to look for you. There's a chairman, there's a board of director or whatever, and then you must have produced one film at least. So we know the kind of content you want to be rolling out as a producer. Those are the things that we do, but we don't say...
Are skit makers also part of your association?
I don't think I have any skit maker. I might not know, but I don't think I have
because skit, you know what I asked that? Skit makers are not produce full-length movies.
Yeah, if you produce full-length movie, of course you're qualified as long as you have your company registered. Now, what we also do, we don't chase producers away because we do training year in, year out. You can even come without any knowledge and we'll train you to make sure you become a standard producer. The likes of Kunle Afolayan is my member, Mercy Ayigbe, Iyabo Ojo and Co. They are my member, Tonya Imako. They are all a member of Actors Guild. The Board of Trustee Chairman is Zebe Jiro. So it's not a small association. It's an association with a pack of lots of big producers who have made name in this industry.
Is there a basic agreement, on protocols and enforcement discipline protocols also? You mentioned Actors Guild. You are AMP.
Yes, we are AMP. Of course, we have things that you're supposed to do. There are standards you're supposed to follow. Maybe we are not being tough enough. And what we need, maybe, because Nigeria needs iron hands. So maybe we have to now start making this law so tough that if you don't comply, we suspend you or ban you. Maybe it will make more people sit up.
Anyway, let's go to Emeka Arola's here to respond to some of those issues that I raised, knowing that I'm in this industry, but I've retired to the intellectual side of it. Let's hear from you.
Yes, nationwide, we have members, we have point of contact. We're making overtures to Association of Movie Producers as the only producers body we know. We don't know about these other producers, and that is why AGN is not a member of the Federation. We are making overtures to AMP for our collective bargaining. Some of these measures, how they see it from the actors' angle. Our committees have set up all the materials, but we're waiting for AMP to respond to some of these things so that we can have a cohesion. The Association of Movie Producers president, incidentally, is an actress and a member of my guild. So it's easier for us to interface and discuss these things so that we can make it an agreement. We need to sign it, because if we don't sign it, we cannot even enforce it. But one of the problems that have always occurred is that we have these other associations who have formed to be producing. So when you don't have an agreement with one body, you can't enforce in the other place. But now that this has happened, it has put everybody on their toes. Even Association of Movie Producers, they are working now to see that we meet up all of these demands. And I assure you that within the next 1 month, there must be a collective agreement between AGN and AMP, at least to start with. Well, and I assure you that will happen.
How about the confusion? Most of these actors and actresses, they start out as actors and actresses, and along the line, they say they've become producers too. So how do
and
you...
they are still actors.
How do you distinguish?
They're still actors and actresses.
How do you draw the lines?
Yes.
So there's a lot of confusion.
No, that's how it is globally. That's how it is globally. You can be an actor and at the same time producer. The most important thing is that you keep the laws of both. Like the Adamma look in question is also an actor, but at this point in time, she's wearing the gown of producer because it's her project. So it's natural, and we are curbing it gradually.
Okay, all right. Well, talking about curbing it, I would like to ask you, Mr. Emeka Arolas, who checks the umbrella bodies? Because I hear a lot of conflict, a lot of, there's a big issue around governance and governance structure in the umbrella bodies, both AGN and AMP. Who checks these things? Who are you accountable to? What checks and balances are there to ensure that even the guild or the association is sufficiently representing their members? I think because we've had a long-running issue around that, and that's why sometimes some actors or producers will refuse to belong to these umbrella bodies because they feel that it doesn't quite represent them in the way it ought to represent them. That's for you, Mr. Emeka Arolas. And then for Queen Blessing, you said something around, oh, she's our member, we have to protect her. And on side by side, you also talk about the need to be very strict in order to seek compliance. If your members know or feel that when there are any infractions, your first step is to protect and shield. How will you get to that level of sanction and respect for the body? Because at the end of the day, this is no longer, it's not a thing of me versus you. A life was lost.
Of course.
An industry, in fact, lives were lost. An industry affected. It should not be a matter of personal interest. It should be about what is good for this industry and what can we do. Just to check that statement where you said that, oh, she's a member, I'll come and represent.
Let me quickly
But let me start with Mr. Meka Rolas and I'll come to you. Mr. Meka Rolas, please.
No, I didn't get the first question concerning representation.
Yes, I said
every
who checks?
Actor,
yes, who checks?
Who is a member?
Yes, who checks the checker? The umbrella
every
body.
Every actor who is a member of Actors Guild understands what he or she needs to do, guided by the Constitution and the work ethics, because we have work ethics and code of conduct. Now, in terms of representation, we have different representatives in the geopolitical zones. The problems that come from most actors is that most members are non-conformists, so they don't get to know what happens within the guild until we do more awareness for them. So when they run into problem, they don't even know where to run to. Everybody just calls you and like that. Now, the guild is formed in a way that we have board of trustees, we have the National Executive Council, we have the State Executive Council, and then we have ESCOs at the geopolitical zones, like the zonal vice presidents. Now, every of these positions checks what happens in their zone until it comes back to the presidency. And of course, if the presidency is no longer performing well, we have the board of trustees who are like the custodians of the guild. Now, one of the running issues about the federation is that for over 3 years, we've been trying to put this federation together, and it has to do with the wrong foundation of government policies towards entertainment. That is why this federation has not been able to stand well. Okay? So it's not like all of these things are not properly put. So one way as you're moving, you'll be meeting hitches, but it takes wisdom to be able to overcome them.
I'd love to probe further about government policies, because it would have been great to talk about that in terms of the role. And that's why I talked about who checks who, and where does the government come in terms of policies to support guilds like yours or actors in Nigeria and the entertainment industry. But let me come to you, Queen Blessing.
Yeah, you were talking about me supporting the producer. Okay, what I said when we started was that we're putting more policies and laws. We're going to be putting them in writing. That way, if anything like this happens again, we will suspend that producer immediately. Right now, we don't have such. If you pull out, that won't be fair, because there was nothing for her to say, this is what I must do. Right? So, I mean, she's even a breastfeeding mother. She's crying all over the place. You can't just tell her, okay, imagine AGN say, I suspend you. Wait, can I finish? I know what I'm saying. Listen to me, please. Listen to me. Let me finish. Let me land, please. Now, everybody is shooting at her. Go to the internet. A lot of lies are on the internet. A lot of people carried fake news, even people that were not there when it happened. She's already traumatized. Imagine she commits suicide today. What will happen? That's what I'm saying. Everybody.
Nobody will pay for that.
What I'm saying is this: we cannot push her away. We need to do the investigation properly. Get to know exactly what happened before we give her a punishment. I don't believe that you just carry punishment and give to somebody without even. It's 14 days, and I mean 4 days is already out of this whole panel. Just 10 days. 10 days more. Yes, and they will tell us exactly what happened. Then we'll now give a proper reply to her. For now, we're trying to make sure she doesn't kill herself. You need to see her or speak to her. You will understand what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is that for everyone who's done an infraction, there are always issues around this. But that cannot be a deterrent to having the requisite punishment or consequences for actions. Because it's very important. Because what we hear very loudly is that protection.
Because there is nothing on ground yet.
Hold on. Protection, because if you say that, then all I need to do if I fall into any trouble is come and hide under the umbrella, because I know I'll be shielded and protected.
Nobody can even hide again, because the laws we're putting in place now, if you don't comply with those laws and anything happen like this, we just tell you we don't know you.
Before you say like this, is this not an indictment on your association that how many years have you said? 27 years. And you don't have safety.
We have been training these people.
But you don't have safety regulations in 27 years.
We did not.
So what are you going to be doing?
I can sit here and lie, but there's no point for that.
I'm happy, but It isn't an indictment on you that
it's
in
not any
27
indictment. We have
years,
our producers have been the ones who
have
done all the best
measures
practices when it comes to production. I just
Really?
mentioned some names for you.
In 27
but
years,
I
and
mean,
you don't have
once in a
anything put
while,
on
in this
ground.
multitude of people that you put together, there must be problems.
My people, as you can see, Nollywood no dey organized at all. Like in 27 years, no law on ground to guide them. No wonder every one of them is just doing whatever they want. And also they are treating all these upcoming artists anyhow. And of course, there'll be no consequences. But if they pay me say na Gino Pope and other four innocent people they want to use as a wake-up call, now they want to put some laws in place. Chai! This is really, really bad. Like Nollywood, you guys can do better, honestly. You guys can do better. Like if it's in other country, like Nollywood supposed to take care of these people, their family, as well as Gino Pope, their children, throughout their lifetime. But look at what they are saying here. Common life insurance, these people no get. Now, wow. My people, that is it. Please, I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about all this brouhaha in this Nollywood industry? Like, the thing tire me, honestly. I will see you guys in my next one. But before then, if today is your first time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Yes, my people, goodbye for now.